right, y'all, we back. I don't know what just happened. So this might be split up into two parts. It might not. I might be able to get everything back on track. But if this is split up into two parts, we about to start rolling. And if it's not split up into two parts, then just ignore this section. We about to get right back to the video. All right, y'all. Here we go.
Because I was
the hell
part that I played because I could have been a little bit smarter. I could have been wiser. And I take accountability in that, I don't make the best decisions. I'm human, but I will learn from them.
I don't know why that just jumped backwards like that.
Take your time. You got this. Yeah,
so now she wants to fake cry.
So sorry, I'm getting choked up.
She wants to choke up and fake cry because I've told you guys this plenty of times if you follow my channel. Whenever things don't work out the way a woman in her feminine wants them to work out, she's going to play victim. And it's easy for BTaylor to play victim against Princella because Princella was the dominant in this relationship. Which is why I said at the beginning of the video, it's funny to me that Princella talks so much shit about men and how men handle situations with women just for her to end up getting put into a situation that men deal with all the time. You're dealing with a whore. You move on from the whore. The whore goes online and tells a bunch of stuff, says a bunch of stuff about you, right? We've only really heard BTaylor's side of the story. If Princella has put one out yet, it hasn't gotten back to me. I would be fine reacting to it, but we've only really heard Princella's side of the story. She's in here putting on fake tears. She's making herself a victim. She's talking about how she's going through a lot. She was in a low place in her life. All this shit that women do to men all the damn time. And because they're women and they're feminine and they're docile and their voice sounds so sweet and they put their makeup on and look cute, everyone just believes it. BTaylor is toxic as hell. She argues with men. Clearly, she argues with women. No one can keep this woman happy. But because she's in her feminine, she gets to play victim. Which is why I said this is poetic justice for Princella. Because now you got to deal with what men be dealing with all the time. You thought it was going to be different because you're a woman and you know how to love, quote unquote. Nope, you're getting the same results, but let's continue.
Because I was actually supposed to be getting married this year. So, last year was tough.
I want y'all to pay attention. Like I said, we're taking a walk down female nature. This woman went from she was with her baby daddy last year, when at the same time last year, she was talking about how she had a roster of men. So she was either cheating on her baby daddy or as soon as he broke up with her, she went and got a roster of men. She then went to Princella, right? All this in a year time span. A roster of men and a fling with a lesbian. And you was supposed to be getting married. So we can clearly see why this man didn't marry you. So no, I don't feel bad for you. I'm happy for him. He was able to realize that you were a whore before he got his feelings hurt and ended up losing half of his shit. But let's continue.
But I was going through this transition and she came in at the right time, to say the least. Because, even the guys that I kind of was talking to, like, that is what it is. I don't want to go into that. But when I met up with her, we met up to go get oysters. She was touchy-feely on me. She was grabbing my legs. She had her arm around me in a chair. She was trying to seduce me. And and she had her daughter with her. And I was like, I felt uncomfortable.
Now, y'all see how she's slick bringing the daughter up? What do women always say about men, especially if there's any type of kid involved? Somehow you're a bad dad. We seen it with Tiana Taylor. Oh, he be smoking around Junie. Tiana Taylor smokes too, but she only wants to bring up how Iman is smoking. We all know you're a deadbeat. You don't take care of your kids. You don't do this. You don't do that. She's running the exact same game on Princella, despite the fact that Princella is a woman. There is no difference. And this is why the domestic violence rate is so high, because they don't have to, for as much as they talk about men being abusive to women, women do not have the restraint to deal with each other's bullshit. Again, that's why they always have new friends and everything. She's going low. It's no real reason to bring up Princella's daughter, honestly. Keep it on Princella. She didn't bring up your kid. She did not bring up your kid. We don't see your kid on the internet. I don't see Princella's kid on the internet. So what are you talking about her child for? But this is what they do. But let's continue.
At the time, because I was like, I only came here to have oyster with you as a friend. like on some like content creator, like get to know you outside of YouTube, because I realized that it was a persona that she puts on YouTube. But it's like she bought Pimp and P with her, because she was touching on my legs. She was trying to massage my feet, in public. And I'm like, she got on her knees and started massaging my toes. And I'm like, girl, what you doing? Like, what are you doing? And
this is the cap, because she liked that shit. Because this is a grown-ass woman and you're talking to another woman. So if you didn't want her touching you, why didn't you tell her to stop? Again, y'all, everything I've told y'all about women, you know what? I might split this into 2 parts on purpose. Because literally everything that I've told y'all about women is being shown in this video. I told you guys. They'll sit there and be with the shits, right? Get a train ran on them. Let you touch all over them. Touch my body. Give you a 7-Eleven Slurpee in the back of your car. They'll be down for all that. Then as soon as something happens that they don't like or hurts their feelings, they're going to pretend that they weren't okay with all this shit. That's why I don't like removed consent. And that's why I told you guys not to deal with any woman who would even bring that shit up, even as a joke. Because this is what they do. What she's doing right now, because she's not with Princella anymore, she's acting like Princella made her uncomfortable. If Princella made you uncomfortable, you would have told her to stop. You can't even use I was intimidated, because this is a woman. It's not a man. And even though Princella's acting in her masculine, she still jumps between her masculine and feminine. I'm saying that to say this isn't some steroided up woman. She's the same size as you. There's no intimidation factor. She's another woman just like you. If you didn't want her touching you, you could have and should have said that. But you didn't, clearly, because you didn't have a problem with it. Hence why y'all ended up bumping coochies. Hence why y'all ended up in a relationship. But now that y'all not together no more, you're going to sit here and remove your consent and act like she was making you uncomfortable. This is why I tell y'all the things I'm telling y'all. People can call me this misogynist. They can call me whatever they want. I'm trying to look out for you guys. And I'm looking out for the lesbians too, just like I said in the other video. I'm looking out for the lesbians too, because this is what these fake gay women are going to do to you. They're going to sit here and they're going to have their experience with you. They're going to bump coochies, let you eat them out, and then they're going to act like you took advantage of them somehow. They only have one playbook, regardless of gender. Women only have one playbook.
I end up calling like Rob B to talk to her, so they can end their little squash and beef. And, so then the manosphere was still talking about Princella's live and all this other stuff. And then it was this guy named Red Supreme that did a video about me. And I was on the live and I sent her the live. And I was like, oh, Lord, this dude's going in on me or whatever like that. So she hopped in the live like, oh, and she just saw how men were always talking about me and like talking ish and coming at me. So she was like, and I was telling her some things that I was going through, living on my own, how my maintenance man was, he made me feel uncomfortable, how I can't even just come in and get stuff done without men trying to hit on me, And she was like talking like, oh yeah, like you need to get you, a pow, a pew pew. We need to go to the gun range together. And like, she was kind of like coming in like she was really helping me, like kind of like, I know you on your own, you a mama too.
Now let's just say, for example, that BTaylor's telling the truth here. This is why I tell you that women are so damn emotional and hormonal that they almost become borderline psychopathic. Because you're talking about how your maintenance man made you feel uncomfortable. Your maintenance man didn't even touch you, right? So I guess he was looking at you or saying things that made you feel uncomfortable. And Princella goes, oh, we need to get you a pew pew. Okay. You also just said Princella was touching you, and you're like, why are you touching me? And she continued to touch you. So do we need to get a pew pew for Princella too? How many times have we been at parties and clubs and seen a girl twerking and a girl she don't know come and smack her on her ass or something? Do you need a pew pew for women too? Or you only need a pew pew for men? So I just want you guys to realize a man came over to repair her stuff. And again, we're going to assume she's telling the truth here, even though it's probably cap. A man came over to repair her apartment, and apparently he creeped her out. Princella took her out for oysters, and apparently she creeped her out. She had a roster of men because apparently no one man was good enough for her, and she blew her wedding with her baby daddy because he was good enough to have a kid with, but apparently not good enough to marry. It looks to me like the problem is BTaylor. But like I said, zero accountability. Let's continue.
And I'm gonna teach you some things, kind of like, on some game type of shit, but I didn't look at it like that because my guard was down because she was a woman, and I take accountability in that. I now know that women can also run game on men. Okay. So
she been knew women could run game on men. She was doing it. That's why she had a roster. Y'all see how full of shit they are? I told y'all we about to take a walk down female nature. They're full of shit. But let's continue.
When we would talk, she would say things like, I learned a lot through Pimp and Ken book. And, I was told the guy that I was cool with, that was a pimp, told me I would be the perfect madam. So that was a red flag right there. I should have took that for what it was,
And you know what else she should have understood? If a man who was a pimp told Princella she'd be a perfect madam, not only should you have realized that Princella was a freaked out person who would sleep with anybody, man or woman, but you also should realize is that's Princella telling you that you're a hoe. If Princella said to you, a guy told her that she would make a good madam, and she then in turn chose to tell that to you, what she's telling you subconsciously is that you're a hoe. So she going to put her madam skills on you because they're going to work because you are a hoe. And I've been telling y'all that she was a 304 from jump. But Princella told her without telling her to her face she was. And she didn't even pick up on it. But let's continue.
Okay, like, why would he say that he think you would be the perfect madam? And she was like, well, yeah, because why would I pimp women to go be with other men? Like, why would I do that?
When I can just take what you taught me as a man and use it to get women myself. I told you guys there is a such thing as game. I don't teach game because it's manipulation, but there is a such thing as game. Women are not half as smart as they think they are. And there's signs you can point to that'll tell you a woman's a 304, and there's certain things you can say that is what women will want to hear, which will almost always resort in them being submissive to you. But it's dark psychology, so I would never teach it. But essentially, this guy realized that Princella was smart enough to pick up on that dark psychology. And she realized that it would work on BTaylor because BTaylor is a 304. Let's continue.
I guess for yourself, So then the lie that y'all all know about, the one that everybody keep playing over and over again, of BTaylor getting money thrown on her. Let me tell you what that was. Hold on, I'm going to let this, because I'm downtown.
That was you being your true self, which is a 304. But she's going to victim explain it. Watch.
She planned it. So she said, I want to make the manosphere mad. We were trolling the manosphere when it came down to her live stream. Rescue BTaylor from the manosphere. It was a way to kind of get back at the manosphere for how they treated me. And bullied me and all these other things. So she was like, I'm going to come in. She literally called me and was like, I'm going to come in as the savior. And I just want you to dress real sexy. I want you to pour up a glass of wine. I want you to kind of show the, cleavage and, dress sexy. Make sure you look cute, as pretty as you are. And I want you to come on camera, and I don't want you to say nothing. I just want you to laugh. I just want you to giggle. I'm going to be the one directing everything. I'm going to be the bad guy. I'm going to be the one that's going to, and I'm going to have a stack of money and show the money to the guys. So I was like, oh, okay, that was her feeling good to stunt on, the men, right? It was her way of
that was Princella using you as an accessory because she realized you were a 304 with no brain, which is exactly what most men, especially men with money, do to women. And women get mad about it all the time. But the reality is most people who are attracted to feminine women are attracted to them as nothing but trophies. There are some men out there, such as myself or other elite men, who can see the value in women past looks. But most masculine lesbians and most men, you're just there to look good and do hoe shit. That's it. That's why she told you to just sit there and be cute and be pretty and then proceeded to degrade you. There's nothing different than what most men do. And what's funny is y'all sit here and say don't be submissive to a man, but you let a woman degrade you the exact same way. Bro, I tell you, man, people do women like this because they're stupid enough to continue to allow it to happen. That's why it happens. But let's continue.
When we did the live, I can now see how horrible it made me look as a profession. I'm an award-winning journalist. I'm very well respected in my community.
So then
Outside
why are
of
you on YouTube? Twerking and getting money thrown on you, talking about people's kids and arguing with random dudes on the Lapeef Network. If you're a respected journalist in your community, cut the cap. Let's continue.
I make great money outside of YouTube. I have my own home. I provide for my kids. I have a great relationship, co-parenting relationships with both of my children's fathers.
Oh man, she got 2 baby daddies. Well, there's one thing Princella don't know that men know. A woman got 2 baby daddies. You should have never been taking her ass serious in the first place. That's something you hit one night and you send back home. This is Princella's fault for even keeping you around long enough to be able to put out a hit piece on her. This is straight up Princella's fault. Let's continue.
Yes, that. When men want to spoil me, it's because they actually want to spoil me. Okay? They actually want to do things for me because they see what type of woman I am. I don't have to give anything in return for that. So when she was on there, I started to feel uncomfortable. That's why you saw me laughing a lot, smiling a lot. I didn't know what to say. And I was not expecting her to throw the money at me. That's not what it was. She just told me, stand up and show them, like how cute you are, And I took it as like, oh yeah, y'all trying to play me, like, I'm cute. Like, it was supposed to be a way of like her hyping me up. But when she threw the money on me, y'all could see, that's why I sat down like, oh, okay, like the money, like, no, I didn't know she was, but at that point, what do you say? Like, I didn't have the words I had to play into it, I didn't have to, I shouldn't have to. And I can see how that made me look like a dumb bimbo. Like, I can see how that made me look stupid. It made me look like a gold digger.
That's what you are.
Like I was there for clout. It made me look
That's
like
what you were there for. That's what you were there for.
Money. P never gave me money. P never did all these things that it seemed like she did.
Didn't she just start the video by saying, if I don't mean nothing to you, why would you give me a $700 ticket to fly me out? But now she's saying P never did anything for her and never gave her no money. Women are full of shit. Listen, the elite fleet women who are listening to this, understand I'm not talking about y'all. I'm not talking about all women. But I told y'all we're going to do a walk down on female nature. They are full of shit. She is double talking. If you let them talk long enough, I tell guys all the time, all you need to know about a woman, just let them talk. Make them comfortable, let them talk. They'll start telling you on their own that they hoes. They'll start telling you on their own that they're bimbos. They'll start telling you on their own all this goofy, dumb decision making that they do. And from that point on, you can make an easy decision to walk away. But if you don't make them comfortable, or you let them know what you don't like or don't accept too fast, then they're just going to pretend to be what you want. That's why I tell you guys, don't ever let a woman know up front what you want. Just let them do what they're going to do and see what they're going to say and what they're going to do. And if they do and already move how you want women to move, then you're good. If they don't try to train them. Just walk away. BTaylor is a bimbo, man. She's talking about make me seem that way. No, that's what you are. You're saying it out of your own mouth. She's subconsciously admitting it. Let's continue.
It was an equal exchange. I spent money on her. She spent money on me. I wasn't used to that dynamic. I am used to a dynamic where the man is always picking up the check. He always picking up the tab. He is paying for things. But I found myself picking up the check at times. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess this is what it is, right? So after that live, I said, I'm laughing like, oh, okay, like, I see you're always on social media. You're always on people's platforms and arguing with people. Let's go out and get out and get some margaritas, get some sun. I saw that she needed some type of like grounding, So I invited her out and we went out for drinks. And my intentions always was just to be Princella's friend. I was not interested in being with a woman. Was never interested in being with a woman. But you wanted to be her friend. But when you're friends with somebody who's preying on you,
see the key word? Now she's saying Princella is preying on her. As if she's a victim, as if she's just working around. She don't know what the hell is going on. Princella's just diving on her. She ain't no prey. She's a 304. I'm telling you guys, let's just continue.
you know. So I'm sharing a lot of things that I've been through that year and what I've been through, sharing things with her, you know. Things that I let my guard down, and I shouldn't have let my guard down. I'm sharing things with her. And then we have a good day. So much to the point where she's like, "What are you doing tomorrow? Let's go and hang out at Dave and Buster's." So I'm like, okay. So then we went to Dave and Buster's the next day because she had so much fun with me. We went and had fun at Dave and Buster's. We went to
Now, you see how I just went to Dave and Buster's? What do I tell you guys all the time? First date, bowling, axe throwing, pool, Dave and Buster's or a punch bowl social. Something fun. Relatively inexpensive where you can get to know this person before you heavily invest. Every time I say this, is some gold digging 304 who comes and say, well, a woman of quality would never. And I always tell you guys that that's not true. And guess what happened? Princella took her ass to Dave and Buster's. BTaylor ain't no damn high quality woman that you take to no 5-star restaurant. You don't got to do all that. I be trying to tell y'all that. Wait until you get to a point where you actually know you actually like this woman or this is actually your girl before you start splurging. You ain't got to splurge on these hoes. Because you're going to take her to a 5-star restaurant. She going to pat you on the head and say, good boy. And someone like me or Princella is going to roll up behind you, take them to Dave and Buster's and blow their back out. With way less investment. You ain't got to do all that. She just admitted it out of her own mouth. I'm telling you guys, when you put women in an environment where they're comfortable and the cap and the facade comes off, you start realizing everything I told you is the truth. But let's continue.
It was some game place. I can't think where you find clues and stuff like that. We had so much fun, right? This is where I'm not going to say grooming begins, but this is where it gets a little real, per se. It gets a little PG-13, a little rated R, I guess. I don't know. So we hung out that entire day, and I was like, you know, when I was like, oh, let's go get boba tea or something like that. I wanted her to try that. So as we're there, I grab her like, oh, no, this way. And she grabs my hand and just holds my hand and won't let go. And after a while, I'm like, oh, we're holding hands. Like, we holding hands. Okay, cool. We holding hands. I should have stood up for myself. I should have been like, nah. But I'm not going to lie. I was kind of getting a little like curious. I'm like, well, you know, okay, we can hold hands. Like, it's fine. Then I'm telling her I have to go because I was supposed to do a live stream.
This woman just said this is where the grooming begins. After saying that she was preyed upon, then responds with she started holding my hands. And what world is holding a woman's hands, preying upon her or grooming her? In what universe? She even admitted, I started getting curious. Yeah, because you're a 304. You see how they do? All the girl did was hold her hand and somehow she's victimizing her and grooming her. You a grown-ass woman. Can't nobody groom you. You're an adult. It's ridiculous. But this is what they do. Princella, welcome to the world of a man. You want to be in the world of a man? Welcome to the world of a man. Let's continue.
Right. And I said I had to go home. And she didn't want me to leave. We get to my car. I try to give her a hug. She gives me a hug, but she's holding me and then starts putting her head to my chest and starts getting real close, like tight. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm holding her like, okay, she's holding me. And then she's like, you know, then she starts talking about how good it feels to be with a woman, how safe it feels being with a woman. And I was like, it made me feel uncomfortable. But then she's like, this feels so amazing. This feels so good hugging you like this. Okay. Then she pulls out her phone and she starts playing female porn and introduced me to what trimming is. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube.
What the hell is that?
Now, chipmunk cheeks, a.k.a. Yachty's in the background. What the hell is that? That's basically guys bumping coochies, basically. It's scissoring. That's what it is. Now, let me ask you this question. If you're a straight woman, you're not bicurious, right? You're not some 304 who don't care how she gets her nut. Once your supposed friend has already been touching on your leg, holding your hand, and is now showing you porn, why would you stay? Why would you stay? Let that breathe, run it back. Once this supposed female friend who you supposedly only want a friendship with has through numerous times, because these aren't even on the same day. One date, she's touching all over you and rubbing your feet and all types of stuff, rubbing on your legs. The next time she's holding your hand and won't let it go. Now you at her place. Why are you even at her place? And she's showing you prawn. Why wouldn't you just leave? I'll tell you why you won't just leave. Because you're a bi-curious 304 who don't care how you get your nut. So you stay. That's why you wouldn't just leave. But now that the woman has left you and got a younger, finer version of you, you need to find a way to make yourself seem like a victim and her to seem like a bad guy. So you're going to act like you didn't want all this. Anyone who has any experience with women could have seen this coming from a mile away, like I did. But let's continue.
Porn. It's called what? Tribbing. Look it up. That's what lesbians do. And she starts telling me how good and amazing that feels. And if you never tried that, you should. And I'm not going to lie. Like, at that point, I'm like, okay.
Did you feel like she was grooming you?
Yeah, I did. But I'm a grown-ass woman, so I can't say that I was groomed as a grown woman. Like,
you see what I'm saying? Do you feel like she was grooming you? Yanni is fucking crazy. Any man who deals with Yanni, any woman who deals with Yanni is insane. This woman is nuts. Would you say that she is grooming you? She's a grown-ass woman. Ain't nobody grooming her. The lady showed her the video and said, if you ain't never tried it, you should because it feels amazing. And BTaylor is a 304. Like I told you guys in the other part of the video, or maybe the same video. I don't know because I don't know if this got split up or not. But I told you, she's a 304. And 304s don't care how they get their nut, where they get their nut from, as long as they get their nut off. So as soon as she says, oh, this feels great. If you haven't tried it, you should try it. The hoe in her said, And that's why she did it. Not because she was groomed. Not because she was preyed upon or taken advantage of. Because she's a hoe. Man, the lengths we will go through to not call women what they are is insane, bruh. Absolutely insane. Yanni back there, you feel like she groomed you? Any man or woman who deals with Yanni, whatever comes as a result of that, you deserve it. Because this woman is clearly unhinged. Talking about some as a black woman, we have to look out for everybody, even other black women. You're crazy. You need a therapist. Look out for a therapist. Look out for Dr. Phil. The hell? But let's continue as BTaylor tells you her whole stories.
Ability in that I should have had. I should have recognized that, like, imagine a man pulling out porn and showing you things that you can do intimately. But it would spike my interest. It has been. I've been celibate for like a year. So it was like,
Now she's saying she's been celibate for a year. The woman, all right, so all this has happened in a year. Pay attention to what this woman is saying. Women are so full of shit. In a year span, right? She went from, I was with my baby daddy and we was going to get married, to, never mind, I broke up with my baby daddy and we're not getting married. And now I got a roster of men, right? To, now I'm out here with Princella and it's been a year since I've had any type of sexual contact. Sure. Like you were just about to get married to your baby dad within the last year out of your own mouth. So you want me to believe he wasn't banging your cakes? Then you had a roster of men spending a bunch of money for you on your birthday. You want me to believe none of them were banging your cakes? But Princella just shows you a porn video, and just the porn video made you curious enough to bump coochies with her. Women are liars, man. She's lying. She's clearly lying. She was getting smashed by her baby daddy. She was getting smashed by these rosters of men, and she's a 304 with no sexual control. That's why she was willing to bump coochies just to see what it feels like, because she just wants to get her nut, and she don't care how she gets it. Any woman who had enough decency to be able to not sleep with someone for a year ain't about to go out here and bump coochie with no woman. They're not. Oh, it's been like a year. I've been celibate for like a year, so I was open to bumping coochies with Princella. Okay, but you wasn't open to getting piped down by the men who you admitted out of your own mouth was spending more money on you than Princella was, and you also want us to believe that you wasn't sleeping with your baby daddy who was about to marry you? She's full of shit. Anyone who believes her is crazy to me. It's very clear she's full of shit, but let's continue. Let's see her tell more lies to make herself the victim.
And we talk later on, and it's just like I left very confused. I left very confused because it's part of my interest. And then we kept talking, and we was talking every day. That first, I would say after that experience, I would say the first week or two of me talking to Pete told me she loves me. She deadass was on the phone. We was vibing to music, and she deadass looked at me and was like, "I love you." And she was like, "I really feel like that love bombing shit. Like, I really feel like, you know, we're a good match together. Like, I looked at our zodiac signs. The thing that she's doing now with her new girlfriend. Like, oh, we a match. I talked to some psychics. P talks to psychics on a hotline. She basically has a app for psychics, and she calls and pays $200 to talk to a fucking psychic because she can't hear what God tells her, but she's so connected to the divine. But why do you rely? Like, I understand you get readings and stuff like that. That's understandable, but you spend so much money getting readings, and you're telling me that, no, it's a match. No, this is what it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be together. And I'm like, well, damn, like, maybe we are. Like, yeah, it seemed like we get along. Like, it seemed like we match. It seemed like we mesh together. It just love bombing shit, you know? Like, it's like she mirrored me, and it's like she mirrored me. And so when we were talking, it was kind of like first of all, I've never been with a woman, never been interested in being with a woman, and nothing like that. So for me, that's a lot. That's a lot. And when she was working with Daryl, she would always tell me how much she was using Daryl, but Daryl was also using her, you know? And she would say, yeah, I'm using Daryl to get back at the manosphere because she was so determined to get back at the manosphere. She used Daryl as in, like, you know, I'm going to use him as an example. Like, you got to whip these men into shape and they'll do what you say. But if Daryl messes up, I'm going to cut him at the legs. And we all publicly saw that happen, that she cut Daryl long at the legs. He lost his support. He lost his followers because he was acting up, you know. And when you witness something like that and somebody having that much power and pull on social media, that shit is actually kind of scary because at this point, I haven't been really posting on my channel. I haven't been building my own brand. I left the manosphere, and now I'm over here with her.
And what did I say? She's a clout chaser. She left the manosphere. She hasn't been building her own brand because she was building her brand through the manosphere. Then they kicked her out. Then she started trying to build her brand through Yanni, and that didn't work out. Then she jumped to Princella. That was working for a little bit, but now that that's not working out, now she's going back to Chipmunk Cheeks, a.k.a. Yanni. But you're supposed to be so established in your field and making so much money on YouTube. What the hell are you even trying to build a platform for? Just quit. You don't have no original ideas, no original thoughts, no original nothing. All you're doing is hopping from click to dick, hoping someone lets you hang around and siphon subscribers and views off of them. Just go work on that profession you said you got. But I digress. Let's continue.
While she was cutting off Daryl, she pulled me out the closet and said, I'm dating BTaylor. Like, she's never once asked me to be her girlfriend. It was just like, she just claimed me as her girl. That, to me, wrecked my freaking nerves because, and it made me, like, I didn't speak up for myself because we weren't really dating. We were kind of like talking and getting to know each other. I was a little curious, so here and there, but she put it out there before I was ready to even, you did that without my permission. You pulled somebody out the closet without my permission, and you let all these people know. So that's pressure on me to keep this up. It's pressure on me to keep this up. So now I look stupid to the world, and everybody know my business that me and you may be talking and messing with each other. So it kind of, at this point, like, damn, and I called her and was like, hey, my phone is blowing up. I didn't expect for you to say that. I didn't know we were like, and she was like, well, I'm living my truth, and it's true, we are, and you can't be ashamed of that. Like, kind of like yelling at me, kind of like mad that I would even be like hesitant to it. It was like, well, you the one who was saying. So look, she bought up her second girlfriend. So for those who are asking, what happened to Princella's second girlfriend? While all of this was happening, I even asked her what happened to Princella's. What's going on with your girlfriend? When I first met up with her, she said her girlfriend knew that she was out and about with me. But did your girlfriend know that you was touching on me? You was touching and rubbing on my legs and saying that this is an open relationship? I feel bad for her second girlfriend because she would say, oh, she's so vanilla. Like, as in she was this Hispanic and Filipino woman. And she was like, she's just so vanilla and she's just too sensitive. But that's red flag right there, because I'm like, okay, so if we're involved with each other, you're publicly claiming me on your social media platform. Now your audience is asking what happened to the second girlfriend. I couldn't say what happened to her. I don't know. I just know that the girl mother was sick, and P was like, she didn't have time for me. So the girl basically told her, P, go get you another girlfriend. Then P comes back and tell me, yeah, I talked.
And this is where this video is being made. This is where the real tea is. All this is because she's mad that Princella had another chick. Princella told all that stuff about how guys don't know how to love and guys are just playing you and blah, blah, yada, yada, when she's been doing the same thing. She had BTaylor bumping coochies with her, and she bumping coochies with another chick. And that's why she's exposing her. Guys, I'm telling y'all, I can read these people like a book. That's why it's the best channel on YouTube. We're going to continue forward for a little bit more, then I'll probably cut it off because eventually she just starts bimbo babbling and talking about the girl's daughter. And I don't really respect that. I don't think her daughter, Princella's daughter, shouldn't have been brought up in this at all, in my opinion. But let's continue.
Her and told her I found another girlfriend. The second girlfriend literally said, damn, that fast? That's also a red flag that I ignored, and I take accountability in that. I can't blame nobody but myself getting involved with somebody who was supposed to be in a committed relationship, right? So, and how fast she moves on, right? And so then I don't know what happened, because anytime I would ask questions about the second girlfriend, or are y'all still talking? Are y'all still involved? Because now you publicly pull me out the closet as in we're talking. I'd be damned if I be anybody's second girlfriend to, a situation like that. Like you just pull me out there. We weren't official. We weren't nothing. And you pull me out there knowing you still had a whole second girlfriend. And I don't know what happened to that girl. I just know that she hit me up and said, yeah, I think we pretty much broke up without saying anything. So you basically played that girl. You basically played her. So what's happening with P having another girlfriend right after me? That's the energy that I accept, because I got involved when she had the second girlfriend. But I don't fault the new girl that she's with, because how she presented the situation to me, it didn't seem like she's just manipulating women who are in a vulnerable place, to say the least. So I always kept bringing up the second girlfriend because that just did not sit right with my spirit. And she would get mad at me and be like, oh, you're just being jealous. Why are you worried about what's going on over here? And I'm like, because I don't want to be involved. We don't have to. And then the whole her being married thing, I'm like, bro, I didn't know you were still married. Like, and then you pull me out of the closet. Like, you pull me out in the public like that, knowing you're still married to your husband. Need to refile your divorce papers. Then you got a second girlfriend. Like, I look stupid as fuck, and I understand that.
Yes, you do look stupid. Guess who told y'all, by the way, that Princella had a husband? Way back in the very first video, me. But I digress. This is why y'all need masculine male leadership. All this could have been avoided if, one, BTaylor ain't getting her feelings about Princella having another chick, and two, there was masculine male leadership around. Because I could have told BTaylor everything that was going to happen, just like I told y'all everything was going to happen before it even happened. I could have told Princella what BTaylor was going to do to her before it even happened. But when you have no masculine male leadership around and you continue to have black women who think they know more than men, this is what you get. This is why the entire community is in chaos, because y'all don't listen. Y'all think y'all the smartest people in the room, and 9 times out of 10, you're not.
Take accountability now. All I can do is blame myself for that. All I can do is blame myself, and move forward. So mods, please do your thing. Yeah, okay. I just saw somebody, one of my moderators. But yeah, like, so then, I don't want to lose focus. So yeah, so that was part of our arguments. That was a part of a lot of our arguments, right? And she started to say like, "Oh, you're being insecure," like trying to gaslight me to that I'm insecure. So my first experience with P's anger, we were in a car on the way to go eat, and the music was playing. She was
Now we about to talk about the abuse. This is going to be the last section we listen to before I wrap this up. Because I told y'all, what did I tell y'all? I said lesbian couples have the highest domestic violence rate in the country. Rather it be physical or verbal. Really, it's physical, but verbal too. They have the highest domestic violence rate in the country. And what you're about to witness is BTaylor talk about her being verbally abused. No one physically abused her, but she was verbally abused. I personally don't really believe in verbal abuse, especially because it almost always comes from the mouth of women. And if you've ever been in a relationship with women, if you ever even been friends with women, no one's more verbally abusive than they are. No one calls you out your name, talks as crazy as women do. I mean, they refer to each other's friends as the B word. Imagine men calling our friends bitches. Would never happen. It would be a fight. But women literally call each other bitches. They backstab. They're conniving. They're messy. But they're always talking about verbal abuse. So here's BTaylor's story of verbal abuse.
Phone playing something, and the seatbelt thing was going off. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm looking at something. I'm just saying, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. This sounds like normal sounds for me. And P snaps on me. She's like, stop. She just like yells at me out of nowhere. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, and she just like yelling like, and I was like, I didn't know how to react to that because I didn't see that side of her where she just yelled at me like to the top of her lungs about like, God damn, like, oh, turn it off, shit. And I'm like, okay. So she's like, put your seatbelt on, put your seatbelt on. So I put my seatbelt on because I'm like, okay, I'm in the car with her on the passenger side. I get real silent and I just sit there like, I don't know what the fuck just happened. She see I'm quiet. I'm literally about to shed a tear because it just took me off guard that she yelled at me like that.
These are the same women who will come into the workplace and be like, you don't have to talk to me like a kid. You can be honest with me. I can take it. She about to cry because someone told her to cut the music off and put their seatbelt on and basically shut the hell up. And she's about to cry. Oh, I'm about to cry because now every man knows you come home for a 12-hour shift. Your wife most of the time going to be bitching about something. How come you didn't take the trash out? Oh, these kids have been getting on my nerves all day. We need this. We need that. When are you going to do this? When are you going to do that? We just got to sit there and eat it. You cut the game on. You know what I mean? You start watching your team play. You sip your beer or your liquor and you just let it go in one ear and out the other. But see, women can't do that. A man wouldn't even yell at Prince. To be true, honest with you guys, a man wouldn't yell at BTaylor like that. We would just be like, yo, chill out. But Princella, because she's a woman, she's hormonal too. She got mood swings too, so she spazzed about it. Cut the music off, put your seatbelt on, and chill out. She can't say it in a nice way because she's a girl too. This is why their domestic violence rate is so high. Now, I don't even think that that's that bad. But look at BTaylor. I was about to cry because she yelled at me. I'm like, how can you yell at me? BTaylor be out here yelling at grown men. This is what I'm telling y'all. Only men can deal with women's bullshit. They can't deal with each other. They can yell at other people, but you yell at them, they're going to cry. So don't talk to me like that. I'm appalled. It's ridiculous. They can't deal with each other, man. But let's continue to listen to her sob story real quick.
And then she goes to say, are you mad at me? And I said, yeah, I am. I actually want to go home. And she was like, I mean, I understand that, but, you know, I get irritated with noise easily. Like, overstimulation with noise irritates me and it makes me freak out. So I end up looking on the phone and seeing that she has a noise sensitivity. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just trying to self-diagnose her, and she apologizes, which was surprising because she don't barely apologize for nothing. So She kind of like apologized, but it was more so like making an excuse to the why she was yelled and snapped on me like that. And I just, okay, maybe it's misophonia. Maybe she's diagnosed with misophonia. You know, I do now know that P is on the spectrum, has to be, because of how she reacts to things.
Look, now she's trying to say the girl on the spectrum just because she yelled at her. You can't make this up. Women always trying to psychoanalyze somebody. Why don't you psychoanalyze how you, within a year span, you went from being married to dating a roster of men to bumping coochies with a woman while also being celibate? Why don't you psychoanalyze yourself? God damn, I swear every woman thinks she Dr. Ruth or something. It's crazy, but let's continue.
Little did I know that wasn't going to be the last time that she was going to snap on me. Now, a lot of y'all know that we went out of town to Dallas. We went to Dallas, and on the way, a lot of y'all saw how we took a road trip and how she was talking to me. You know, it was like, you know, I wanted to use the bathroom at Chick-fil-A, but she wanted to go to the gas station. She was like, no, you're going to go use the bathroom at the gas station. I said, I've never used the bathroom at no gas station. I don't feel comfortable doing that. I feel comfortable going to Chick-fil-A. That's just what I feel comfortable with. She passes up Chick-fil-A. She's right there. She could have just turned, but she passed it up and said, no, you're going to use the gas station bathroom. And her excuse was, I'm a woman too. I could use the bathroom as well. How can you fight somebody on that? You used to date men. A man would have turned to Chick-fil-A. A man would have took me to Chick-fil-A. She took me to the gas station. Somebody, if the bathrooms are clean. I didn't want to use that. You could at least respected that. Then when we in there, you know, she's like, and make sure you don't drink nothing either, because I don't got time to be stopping at all these bathroom stops. I'm like, oh, okay, like, can I get a Starbucks drink? And she was like, no, because I'm not stopping until we get to Buc-ee's. And that's in like 2 hours.
Y'all see what I'm talking about? Nah, a man would have just took the woman to Chick-fil-A because we don't feel like being bothered. But because Princella is a woman and she wants it her way too, she's not going to be susceptible to women's bullshit. So she's like, no, just use the gas station bathroom like a normal damn person. I use the gas station bathroom. See, I told you, women can't deal with each other's bullshit. They yell at people, but they can't handle being yelled at. They want people to make all these like inconveniences to their life to convenience them. And the only ones who are willing to do that for them are men. But we don't know how to love. Now, mind you, Princella the one running around out here talking about how men don't know how to love when she won't even stop at the damn Chick-fil-A so the girl can use the bathroom. I understand why the girl don't want to use a bath station bathroom. Now, I will admit, when I'm on a road trip, look, you're not going to always be able to find a restaurant to go to the bathroom in. And most of the time, road trip gas stations have nice bathrooms, right? But my point here is... a man would have just took you to Chick-fil-A because it's not even worth the argument. No, a woman's going to go back and forth. Well, I don't want to stop at Chick-fil-A. I don't want to do all this stopping because Princella is being a woman. She's hormonal right now. She's not in a good mood. She don't feel like being bothered. And BTaylor is not being understanding to that because she's used to everyone catering to her because men generally cater to every little whim, every little inconvenience, whatever it is women they want, so that the women will shut the fuck up. But women cannot deal with women on that level. And all of this is a prime example of why the domestic violence rate amongst lesbians is so damn high. Because a man would have just went to Chick-fil-A. The lesbian gonna argue with you about it because she don't feel like stopping. So now we got two immovable forces, two people moving with no logic, straight emotions, and they both in their feelings right now. It's gonna result in a fight 9 out of 10 times. Y'all can come in my comments talking about some men do it too, or whatever you want to. But a man would have just took the damn girl to Chick-fil-A and not even went back and forth. I understand where both of them is coming from. Most of the time, I would never go to a gas station bathroom. Now, again, on a road trip, yeah, I would, because who's going to be looking for fucking restaurants, right? But at the same time, I understand where BTaylor's coming from. Like, who wants to go to a bathroom in a gas station? You're taking a 50-50 chance. So at the end of the day, right, the logical thing for me would have just been, I'm going to just take her to Chick-fil-A. It's not even worth it. But Princella, because she's a girl too, is like, no, it's my way. I don't care about your way. She's not conceding. No one's giving ground. No one's being logical. No one's giving ground. Two hormonal, emotional people, this is going to result in abuse. But y'all ain't want to hear me, though. Let's continue.
So I didn't even get nothing to drink. I just got a snack. We get in the car, we drive. Next thing you know, I'm taking a nap. We're stopping because she has to use the bathroom. And I'm looking at her like, so you could stop to use the bathroom for yourself, but you told me that I can't get a drink because you don't have time to be making all these stops. So I felt like that was inconsiderate and selfish. She gets back in the car. We go, we get to Buc-ee's, we eat, whatever. We drive again. She stopped. Anytime we kept stopping, it was because she had to use the bathroom. So when we was telling the story in Dallas about, we was in the car kind of like joking about it at this point, about her not going to Chick-fil-A. And she accidentally took a sip of one of my drinks and was like, oh, why is your drink in the front? Like, you know, the cup holders, my drink is in the front, her drink is behind me. But she got mad that my drink was in the front. And she was like, well, why is your drink in the front like that? And da-da-da-da. And kind of was like fussing at me. And I don't know if any of y'all believe that. Any of y'all saw that. Y'all saw it, but the live is deleted. Because I told her it's not, people started to tell you were being mean to me. Like, I think you should delete the live. So here I am trying to protect her from revealing her true colors of how she treats me behind the scenes. So I told her how she was like yelling and kind of talking about it and deleted the live and was like, well, I'm not going to post you no more on my live. And I don't got time to be fake. I don't got time to be fake. If we get in an argument on live, we're just going to get on an argument on live. And I was like, well, I'm not that. I'm a private person. Like, I don't do arguments online. I don't do that. But she was like, no, if we're going to get into it, we're going to get into it and keep it real. And I'm like, okay, well, that's just not a good look. And I'm not saying be fake on camera. I'm just saying that it's not okay to bring everything to the internet. So then when we get back to the hotel that next morning, we talk about that again. And I told her how much it hurt my feelings. When I tell you, Princella starts yelling at me at the top of her fucking lungs. And she started hitting shit and like hitting the curtains in the room, yelling, flinging her arms. I'm like, damn, is she about to hit me? Is she about to hit? So I'm sitting there on the bed like, why are you yelling? Like, I'm not even yelling at you. Like, can you just talk? No, because you trigger me. You trigger me. And
see, two emotionally volatile people in one room. But men don't know how to love. But men are the abusers. Again, the only one who can tolerate women's bullshit is men. BTaylor is getting on Princella's nerves. That's the problem. But men are used to women being annoying, so we know how to ignore them. But what did I say earlier? When you take two forces of water and you smash them together with no land to keep them going in a straight line, you take two opposing forces of water, you clash them together, it makes a cyclone. It makes a tsunami, and you get this. I told y'all all this. Y'all gonna learn to start listening, man. We get ready to wrap this up, though, because like I said, I'm not going to post the part where she starts talking about her kid because I feel like that's out of pocket.
Like just yelling and just going off. Like she has such horrible anger. And I'm like, if this was a man hitting shit as he's yelling at you, this would be a very intimidating, to say the least. So, you know, we end up leaving. We was kind of in an argument about that. There has been other incidents where I triggered her because she was upset with me about something. So I triggered her and she would hit things. She would hit a table. She would hit the steering wheel. She would yell to the point of spit flying out her mouth. And I realized I fucked up. I was like, what have I got myself into? But when she fell out with Daryl, why would I want to go against somebody like that? Why would I be brave enough to speak out and tell my truth? I was scared to say or walk away from her, but I did call a friend. And even before that, let me rewind back for Thanksgiving. I did bring her to my family house to meet my family. And everybody got weird energy from her in person. Everybody. Nobody was like, where did she come from and who is she? My sisters was saying, I don't like her energy for you. I don't like her energy. It's something about her. And my oldest sister, deadass, told me, I think she's preying on you because you're at a vulnerable place in your life. You lost.
Oh, my God. Womp, womp, womp. Mind you, this is a woman who went online talking a bunch of crap about men all the time. Now she's with a woman and she's complaining that the woman ain't doing it right. It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable. Oh. You know what? Honestly, man, that's enough of this. We don't need to watch any more of this. That's enough of this. I think we're good. I think you guys got the gist of this. Like I said, I'm not going to play the part where she starts talking about the kid because I thought that was out of pocket and unnecessary. Even if Princella is a bad mother, I don't know, but I just think the kid has nothing to do with it. You should have left the child out of it. That's me. But why expect the woman scorned to play by the rules? Listen, at the end of the day, it's ironic to see the community that runs around talking about how men don't know how to love, getting verbally abused and cursed out by a woman. Princella hates men because men can get a level of submission, cooperation, and love from women that she can't. She also can't get that out of a man either. And that's why she doesn't like men. BTaylor is a confused 304. It don't matter if she's with a woman or a man. It's going to end the same way because she's a confused 304s. And all 304s can do is cause chaos. And I told you guys all of this was going to happen before it happened. I told y'all down to the abuse. I told y'all about playing the victim. I told y'all about BTaylor using her for clout. I told y'all about Princella just wanting to bump coochies. I told y'all all of this. Y'all going to learn to start listening to the boy. But either way, y'all, that's my thoughts on that. Like I said, I'm not going to go further because that's when BTaylor starts to talk about her kid, and I feel like that's out of pocket. I don't think you should put people's kids' business on YouTube. That being said, y'all, I am Alex, and I am out. Peace.